go from here? Every city and county is different. So you've heard how it happened in San Francisco. And we can give you the framework, and we can give you our experience. But every city, even in California, when we try and organize, it's different. It's different politically, culturally, socially, geographically. And I worked for Planned Parenthood in San Diego several years ago, and organizing there was a nightmare. There are canyons, there are waterways, there are mountains. Socio-politically, it was total right-wing, total left-wing. And the only way we were able to organize there was to go ethnic community by ethnic community, which of course are already organized within their communities. And that's how WIN was formed. And Yatsuko Wachi here, who is from Japan, was in San Diego at that time, and she was one of our founders. So we had women come together from the Mexican community, the Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, European. Every community had a woman representative in our coalition. And that's how WIN actually, that was for another, we came together around another issue, but that's how WIN was formed. And that's how we're still formed. So as Krishanti said, it's about inclusion. And in order to, your communities, I know that other countries are much more homogenous than we are. California may be a little easier to organize, but I'm wondering how many of you would consider yourself a community organizer? Right. Well, we can teach you how to do it. Anybody can be a community organizer, and I know you've all done it, you're just not calling yourself that. So what you're going to do is you're going to design a policy mechanism. That's what we call the California Women's Agenda. And that was formed to implement the Beijing Platform for Action, which is what we've been doing statewide. And then we took that model nationally for U.S. Women Connect, and I think there's Gail James back there from Kansas, who is part of U.S. Women Connect, and they look at having 50 states all organizing into one national action plan. But we want you to do that in your city, your village, your community, wherever you have a governmental entity that is accountable to civil society. So we're going to put you back into some work groups. And we can do that. You may have to move your chairs. But we want you in that group to talk to each other briefly about how do you organize in your city. And I know you all do that. How do you educate people in your city? Because first of all, we're going to have to figure out how to let people know what CEDAW is, which people pronounce it. Even my friends say it differently than I do. How can people understand what CEDAW is? We have tools. You've seen some of those tools. WIN has tools called the nuts and bolts of organizing a county, organizing a city. We're going to have you sign on. If you're willing to go with us, you are our first team. How many of you are willing to be on the Cities for CEDAW team? Right. So this is the launch. This is the first team. And we can build this campaign in a lot of ways. Of course, you know, we do things online. We feel very strongly that movements start on the ground. And once they're on the ground, once you've seen each other, once you have talked even briefly, even if you're meeting somebody in the hall, then you go online, okay? But we have to remember that there are still millions of women out there who don't have bandwidth, who are isolated for many reasons. Even in California, we drive into the Central Valley to see the farm worker women. We go up north to tribal areas. And we learned the model from Uganda on how you reach women out in the bush. And Annette Mukabera is here from Uganda, and we went over there and they taught us how to do that. So we can reach all the women. First of all, of course, you have to start building your campaign on the ground. So when you get in your groups, we do have yet another sign-up sheet, and